Perfect. Perfect.
We all love animals, but sometimes to get a new pet can become something confusing or a bit expensive. Today in Autopista Ideas, we are going to learn how to get a new free pet online.
There are several reasons why we wish to have a pet. Some of the reasons are, for example, for safety reasons, maybe companionship, or to give the kids something to do or something to play with. Also, there are even people that have pets for looking good or to show some kind of status. Today we're going to review an easy process to get a free pet online, but before that, I think we should reflect about what is a pet for us. Many people take pets as an accessory that they use to look good, especially when they belong to a certain race or are simply cute puppies. Although when the pet starts to grow and start having needs, or maybe start breaking things in the house while playing or getting sick, then this type of people stop liking them and sometimes not abandon them or not giving them a good life. In my personal opinion, this begins when people take pets as a thing, not as a living being with understanding and feelings. Okay, I don't want to get much philosophical about this, but we gotta remember pets are smart enough to learn things, to recognize people, smart enough to analyze sounds and decide whether it is an order, whether it's a call, and how to react. So they have a process of thinking. And we have seen that several times, you say to your dog, sit, and sometimes he just goes away because he doesn't want to follow your order. He knows what you want, but he says like, okay, I prefer to do something else. Or he obeys. That means that the dog listens the sound, takes it into his mind and says, okay, sit. This human wants me to do this. Okay, let's do it so he will be happy. So what is my point with this? Pets in general have a level of understanding about what's going on around them. Also, another thing we have to take into account is that pets have feelings. And there are different ways they show their feelings. When they are sad, the dogs and the cats cry. Sometimes they have their eyes full of water. If they are angry, which is a feeling, they start making noises or barking. If they are happy,
Perfect.
which is another feeling, they start jumping, they move their tails. Therefore, we can say without a doubt that pets have feelings, and some of those feelings are triggered for what's going on around them because they understand what is happening around them and how that affects their safety or put them in risk of survival. That's why it's a big mistake to consider your pet a thing when they are actually aware of what's going on and they trust you. Another thing to consider is that any pet will be with us for about 15 years. That means we need to ensure food, love, exercise, medicine for them during that time, and also take into account that as they grow older, they may start getting sick, and they expect us to be with them in those moments because they trust us. Sometimes people don't think about it, and they don't understand that your pet that is giving you love is telling you, I'm going to be with you, and I trust and I know you're going to be with me, whatever happens. If a pet has an accident, where's the first place he goes? The human. It's like a way of saying, protect me, help me, please help me. So please, at the moment of getting a new pet, don't forget they trust you. Okay, now we're gonna see the process to get a new pet online. We can do this through Instagram or Facebook. In this case, we're gonna do it with Facebook. We go to the group sections and I start typing rescue dogs and cats, let's say New Jersey. So we will find groups or pages of NGOs dedicating to rescue dogs and cats. We can try other city, for example, okay, let's say London. So we make a research and you will find a page of cats rescued in London. If you don't find with the word rescue dogs and cats, you can also try to use another word. For example, let's say dogs adoption in London, for example. So here it is. It's available in almost every city, and that's because there is a huge need of families willing to rescue or to receive dogs or cats as well. We can also try, for example, dog adoptions, let's say in Vancouver. We can try cats adoption in Vancouver, for example. And you will find there are groups of organizations or pages of organizations dedicated to rescue dogs and cats. You can try with many different cities. Most of the time you will find organizations in your own city trying to find home for dogs or cats. For example, this one in Los Angeles. Okay, if we open one of these pages, you will see that they post almost every day about in this case of the cats or the dogs they have available for adoption.
Perfect.
Each page is a bit different. Sometimes they request you to comment the pictures and you can say, oh, I'm interested, how can I get him? Or in this case, this page, they have a link that you can open where they have information about the cat. Also, they have a way for you to share it with your friends in case you know someone else who wants to adopt. They have pictures and they have a way to contact. In a few moments, we're going to see which are the requirements for adopting a cat or a dog. But what I want to emphasize is that if you're looking for a pet, this is really the easiest, the fastest, and completely inexpensive way to get a new pet for you and your family. The contact process to this organization is actually quite easy. Like I said, you can post a comment below the image of the cat or the dog you are interested in. Say, oh, I'm interested, how can I play? You can direct message them in Instagram or in Facebook, or you can see if they have a website for the organization. The most important thing is that you take action. Try to be fast because there is usually more than one person interested in every cat or in every dog. Keep in mind that they receive several cats and dogs every day, and they don't have usually too much space. So they really need to find fast families who are really interested in receiving one of them and giving them a new home. This is really important because every cat and every dog you adopt helps
Perfect.
them to have the chance to help another cat or another dog that is on the street. You can try this search using a combination of almost any city. You can look for cats, you can look for dogs. I think these are the pets that most commonly people look for, but most probably if you try to find, I don't know, birds or something else, you might also find groups in Facebook. So this is an example of the information that have in the pages. What I want is I want to show you what was the message I sent when I just got my last dog. I wrote down something like this, something saying like, I want a male dog. For me, it was very important that the size would be like a medium or big size breed. I will request you not to be too narrow regarding the breed of the dog or the color, because that makes the whole process a little bit more complicated. Take into account that there are really several dogs, maybe hundreds of dogs available, and they are all really good companionship. So give you the chance and give them the chance to show you that they can really be an important part of your life. Now we're going to see the requirements to adopt a pet. Something very important is that these are requirements from where I live. They might be a little bit different in different countries or in different cities, but this is mostly the common they require. First, they require you to own a house or an apartment. Not necessarily to own it, maybe you are renting an apartment, but the important thing is that you have to have a place where to receive a pet. You need to have enough space, because it's not a great idea to have a pet, tied up the whole day or just, locked in a place. You need to have a job, of course, because to have a pet you need to be ready to cover food, cover medicine and stuff like that. You need to agree to the follow-up. They do a follow-up, let's say like they make a phone call, they send you a message, they request you to pictures to see how the dog is doing. You need to commit to sterilize. It is very important, because if you don't do that, this problem we are solving right now of having too many animals on the street is never gonna stop. We need to be all responsible for caring about the dog we have and making sure it is not going to reproduce if we are unable to sustain. Remember that unlike humans, dogs and cats, when they reproduce, they give birth like 5 or 7 puppies, and those are 5 or 7 dogs and cats that need to be fed, and it's really expensive at the end. Once the NGO has been contacted and you have provided all the information about the requirements to adopt a pet, they continue the communication in internet to make sure you are the right person to receive a puppy. In my experience, having adopted a pet was a very good decision. It helps you to broaden your point of view, to make good changes in your life, like waking up early, like walking 3 or 4 kilometers per day, lose a bit of weight. It really helps you to remain healthy. So I really recommend you to adopt a pet. It makes changes for good.
Perfect.
you can see, my dogs get along really well. They play the whole day and go together everywhere. I'm really happy having them. There are two additional points I would like to share with you before ending this video. First, did you know that people usually refuse to adopt dogs or cats that are black? It's a pity because this is due to wrong beliefs and superstition. And it's a real problem because it reduces the chances for those animals to find a loving family and have a normal life. They usually remain forgotten. Please help me to make people understand that black dogs and black cats are not synonymous of bad luck. Also, they don't have special powers or any connection with magic, witches, or the evil. They are simply animals wanting to find someone who loves them. Also, did you know that people refuse to adopt animals that are adults? I mean animals older than 4 months old? This is really sad because many people consider that grown-up dog or cat are difficult to adopt, are difficult to train, or depending of the specific breed, they think they might be even dangerous. In my case, I want to tell you about my experience. I don't think this is particularly true. I think it depends really on every specific dog and cat, but much more than the dog and the cat, it depends on what the humans have done to the cat before. If the cat has been really mistreated, it's gonna be difficult for the cat or for the dog to trust humans again. And that's what is really important. In my case, I got first a grown-up cat. She was living in the street. At the very beginning, it took us like a couple of months till I understood her, until she understood she should trust me. But nowadays, I mean, after like 3 or 4 months I have her, she doesn't seem like a street cat. She loves to remain home. She loves to walk. She goes next to you. She knows how to communicate with you, and suddenly, I don't know, we speak different languages, but it's like we understand each other. Same with my dog. I got a German Shepherd who was 3 years old. When I first saw him, I was afraid, really, because it's a really big dog. But at first I thought it's gonna be really difficult to train him. I mean, like 3 years old, it maybe will be too old, but not at all. It's really a smart dog. It's really gentle. It's really caring. It's really, I'm so proud of him. Since I met him, he has never attacked any human. He's really, really, really a tender dog and really smart. He has learned everything I have taught him, and I'm really happy with him. So this thing of the age and the dogs and the cats is not true. So give the cats and the dogs, despite their color, despite their age, give them the chance to prove you if they can be good for you. And this is an example. I went to Alpha K9 Dog School, a specialized center for dog training where they also do rescue work. If we look at these dogs, we can see they are all grown up, some of them more aggressive than others. Let's say we're offered the chance to adopt this pit bull, for instance. Most of us will say, don't get close to him. But look what happens to me. And take into account, this is the first time I met this dog. This is the clear example of a grown-up dog from a breed considered dangerous but extremely calm and friendly. Obviously, I'm not saying go touch every pit bull you meet on the street. Of course not. But if we are offered the chance to adopt this specific dog, despite his breed and age, it will be an amazing experience for sure, because he's just full of love. I personally advise you to meet your pet first. Give the chance to any black dog, any adult dog. Let him surprise you. They are aware of their situation and they really want to find someone to love and protect and who doesn't fail to them again. They want to be happy and loved just like you. Also remember that a dog's behavior reflects the behavior of the human who raised it. And remember that with love, you can work out miracles in any pet. Okay, I leave you with this idea, and remember, if you have the chance to adopt a pet, go do it. Don't worry about age, color, or breed. Get to know him first and you will find an angel to take home with you. I hope you all liked the video. Go use your Facebook, make some pets happy please. Give them a chance to feel they are loved. That's all for now, see you next video.